Rabindranath Tagore, a Nobel laureate Indian and Bengali poet, compositions adopted by two countries as national anthems. India's Jana Gana Mana and Bangladesh's Amarjan or Bangla. Rabindranath Tagore wrote a poem about Korea. The poem was published in the Tonghailpo newspaper in 1929 and inspired the Koreans during the Japanese occupation. Korea became independent from Japan on August 15, 1945. But, following the Korean War, 1950 to 1953, South Korea continued an impoverished and devastated nation and one of the poorest countries in the world for over a decade. From the early 1960s, Korea started to revolutionize, and over the past few decades South Korea has demonstrated incredible growth and global integration to become a high-tech industrialized economy. Nowadays, South Korea is the world's 12th largest economy. Now look at the different part of Asia. In 1947, British colonial rule over India's subcontinent ends. A largely Muslim state comprising East and West Pakistan is established either side of India. The two provinces are separated from each other by more than 1,500 kilometers of Indian territory. In 1971, due to political exclusion, ethnic and linguistic discrimination, led to the War of Independence. The war was against West Pakistan and millions of people died. After independence, the new state of Bangladesh was suffering famine, natural disasters and widespread poverty, as well as political turmoil. The future looked exceedingly bleak. At this situation, two Bangladeshi businessmen Abdul Majid Chowdhury and Narul Quader wanted to help their country. Chowdhury visited to South Korea and was succeeded to set up a joint venture with Tagore of South Korea. In 1979, the history has begun when 130 workers and management trainees from Bangladesh to be trained at Tagore's state-of-the-art technologies at Busan plant in South Korea. These trainees returned home after a 6-month training period to form the nucleus of the ready-made garment sector's technology and its core human resource base. By the 2 years after the training, almost all these trainees had to start their own garment businesses. This explosion of garment companies started by ex-Bangladesh workers brought Bangladesh its $2 billion in garment sales. In the late 1990s, in the 30 years since then, Bangladesh has become one of the world's largest exporters of apparel. This has created millions of jobs and helped drive down the country's poverty rate. It accounts for 80% of the country's export earnings and provides plenty of job opportunities for females. Whereas, this early success is attributed to the initial training and technology transfer from South Korea.